Well, the 2018 season is officially underway. Let's talk about the Daytona 500. Hello, guys. How are you guys today? Welcome to the first episode of the NASCAR League or Lounge. I'm going to get the name right sometime here. Anyways, this is the show I was talking about, where I will be talking all about the race that happened on Sunday, and that's what we're here to do. So, we have tons to talk about here with the Daytona 500 that obviously happened, along with just the whole speed weeks in general. So, I'm going to start with the clash that happened last Sunday. It was not crazy, honestly. A lot of single file racing. 2, I believe, rain delays, and of course it was rain shortened. But we did have a winner, and that was Jimmy Johnson, who got a big help from the guy behind him. Comes up on Paul Menard and just, in my opinion, practically turns him. That piles up 17 cars, and with the rain delay, Jimmy Johnson, from the help of Kurt Busch, would go on to win the clash. So everybody was pretty hyped about that one, I believe, or at least the Jimmy Johnson fans were. And then Thursday night, we had the duels. And not a whole lot to talk about, just again more freight training around. I'm not going to talk about this too much, but Jimmy Johnson again caused some problems where he got into Kyle Busch, spinning him around. It was just a one-car spin. And Kevin Harvick would go on to win Duel 1, and then Duel 2 was very uneventful. Nothing really at all happened. And Joey Logano would go on with the help of Ryan Blaney, with a huge push from him. And he would overtake Clint Bowyer and go on to win Duel number 2. And then Friday night, and this will be the only time I really ever talk about the other two lower series, the Truck and Xfinity. I do not watch the full season. I usually watch Daytona and Talladega. The truck race I will start with was amazing. A lot of things happened. Natalie Decker made her first appearance in the truck series. Unfortunately, ended her day with, I believe, a flat tire, cutting an oil line or something, and her car just erupted in flames. Well, I shouldn't say erupted, but ignited in flames, and she was out early. A lot of wrecks happened. I can't name every single driver because I don't know too many of the truck guys. I know the regulars, but not the new guys. But I do know Austin Hill would go on to win the race in Brett Moffitt's old ride, which was pretty cool to see. A lot of people were, I think, counting on him to get at least one win this year. Maybe not as early as some thought, but that was pretty cool to see. And then, it was a pretty good race, I'd have to say. The truck race was very eventful. I had a lot of fun watching it. I normally have fun watching the truck race specifically. It's usually pretty good. I heard the truck races outside of Daytona and Talladega are actually pretty interesting. So if that is the same this year, maybe the truck race becomes a regular for me to watch. So yeah, maybe this year will be different. We'll see. And now we get on to Xfinity, and there's not a lot to say here. I think there was like a one-car spin where Ray Black Jr. goes around or something. Again, I don't watch this series very often, so I don't know many of the guys. I do know a little bit more than the truck, but again, I do know Junior Motorsports, with the 8th, and all those cars. But it was pretty nice to see Dale Jr.'s team get a win, although it was just freight training all the way around. Not much at all for two wide racing, and it was a snooze fest, if you will. No one wanted to make a move, and that's what really got me afraid of the Cup Series race, where they would just be all freight training against. But that did not happen, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. But yeah, the Xfinity race was just boring, in my opinion. But Michael Annett got his first win, so that was pretty cool. Sorry, my nose is stuffed up. I'm actually under the weather just a little bit, but I had to get this video made. Anyways, Michael Annett got his first win, which was cool because everybody I know said that he didn't belong there and that he was only there because of the money. So it was like pilot money, the money, the sponsor, all that. So it's pretty cool to see him and Junior get that victory. First victory of his career. So I hope he does well this year. I actually like Michael Annett somewhat. I think he is an okay driver. It was also nice to see Jeffrey Earnhardt lead a few laps there. Actually, a lot of laps. It's nice. They had this big thing for him, because of the last name and stuff, which is pretty cool. I know a lot of people are also counting him out because of his last name and the legacy that name carries, which I understand. So I hope those two drivers do well and crush all of that hatred that they get because of those two reasons. But now we finally get to the big headline, the big story, the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. This race, it was good. It was much better than I could ever expect it to be. Right from the beginning, I'm like, all right, here we go. Everybody started pulling up to the top line. I'm like, all right, let's go. Freight trade for 200 laps. Awesome. But the unthinkable in my head happened, and they ran too wide almost the entire race, except for pit stops. This was literally one of the best Daytona races I have ever watched, personally. It was so fantastic. There were two wide racing, a lot of fast cars up in the front. It was awesome. And then we got into trouble. Our first wreck happened, and that would be Kurt Busch and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. collided. Kurt Busch comes down a little bit and just pretty much goes off the bumper of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He goes around. Tyler Reddick, not knowing Bubba Wallace would hit the brakes so hard, bumped into him, pushing him into the back of Kurt Busch, and then Jamie McMurray also getting damage, which, hurts me. So Kurt Busch would pretty much be out. Bubba Wallace went multiple laps down, and Tyler Reddick got his car fixed, and Jamie McMurray got his car fixed. Went a few laps down, but ultimately came back from that at that time. And then we had our, I believe, stage end, and who won that stage? I don't remember. Don't remember who won stage one. Wow. But there was a stage one winner. I don't know why I don't remember that. That's weird. Anyways, comment down below. I know I'm such an idiot. I literally just got done watching this race. Then we had stage two. And not much happened. But we did make a round of pit stops. And interesting to see, but we had two slower cars in the back. BJ McLeod and Cody Ware, son of Rick Ware. And that they're teammates of Rick Ware Racing, just kind of jogging laps, if you will, and a group of cars, like Jimmy Johnson, Tyler Reddick, those were kind of the main ones. were coming into the pits. I know, so descriptive, right? Came into the pits, and BJ like slides up in front of the 52 or something. He goes around. He's into the grass. The 52 hitting the brakes real hard. Being backmarker teams, they don't have those solid brakes that like Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr. have. And he slides. He gets into the back of Tyler Reddick, sending Reddick right into Jimmy, and tearing Jimmy's whole corner panel right off, exposing the fuel cell. That would put Jimmy multiple laps down. Tyler Reddick, huge damage. Just some slower cars that unfortunately had a miscommunication or something. I don't know. It was weird. But ultimately ruined their days. So that was interesting. Just, guess a bunch of idiots racing. I don't know. But yeah, that happened. And then the end of stage 2, Ryan Blaney won that one. They wouldn't stop headlining that, so that's in my head. Oh, I have the sniffles, I tell you that. I think stage 1. Didn't that? I don't know. It'll come to me later on. And then stage 3. We're setting up for stage 3. Oh, actually, I'm not going to talk about stage 2. Stage 2, we also saw Matt DiBenedetto take the lead. And he led for a lot of laps. People kind of forgot about him just for a little bit. Didn't really count him as like a favorite to win this race. And me personally, I didn't either. But he showed some serious speed. He showed that he belonged with the JGR family sort of thing. Obviously he runs for Levine Family Racing, a small team that aligned with Joe Gibbs this year, switching to Toyota after being with Chevrolet for many years. So that was pretty cool. And he led 6 cars, to name a few. I think it was Kyle Busch, Eric Jones, Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, and Daniel Suarez, I think. It was something like that. They all formed one line. This was the longest freight train, if you will, and they actually were faster than the big field of really good cars that had already pit. And they were starting to come by, and Jay just started trying to lap them down. And then we got a caution setting up for the end of stage 2, which was pretty cool. Casey Mears got into the 96 of Parker Kligerman, ending Casey Mears' day and putting Parker Kligerman many more laps down. So that was more backmarker teams having some problems. This was probably the end of Casey Mears' Cup career as well, which is unfortunate, but just kind of how it goes. We'll move on. So that would ultimately set up for the stage end, which Ryan Blaney comes across the line, the winner of. And then we set up for the big dog, the final stage. And it was packed full of energy, full of everything, if you will. Many things happened, but the big one happens. After multiple lead changes and everything, the big one happens. Paul Menard was giving a good shove to Matt DiBenedetto in the 95, but ultimately gets into that soft part of the car on the left rear. And right, or am I wrong? Am I wrong? Or am I right? Left? Right rear. It's the right. I'm stupid. Anyways, he got into the rear of him on that soft spot, turns him around into the whole field, collecting multiple cars such as Martin Truex Jr., Paul Menard himself, Matt DiBenedetto, Chase Elliott I think got involved. Just a lot of good cars were involved. And that would set up for the restart. And then we fast forward a little bit, and another wreck happens. I think Kyle Larson just blew a tire or something. I think that was in stage 2. Yeah, but Kyle Larson had problems too. I'm rooting for him. And he blew a tire in stage 2. I forgot to talk about that one. Not really important. Didn't get any too much damage. But anyways, another wreck did happen though, and this time it was Ricky Stenhouse Jr. tried to thread the needle in between Larson and someone else I don't remember, causing another wreck, and that would definitely ruin Kyle Larson's hopes of winning the Daytona 500. He was having a bad speed weeks anyways. Just did not have any luck at Daytona whatsoever. It was bad. It was really bad. But that would once again set up for another restart. And then another wreck happened. I'm not sure if this was before or after the Stenhouse wreck. Pretty sure it was after. Just more hard racing and ultimately spinning. I believe, who was it? Someone got into Byron. He collected also Chase Elliott. I think someone got into Suarez. I don't remember. I don't know why. I didn't pay too much attention to this wreck. But it would ruin Byron's day. It would ruin Elliott's day that was already going bad. Ryan Preece barely, I think, escaped that wreck, which was interesting. He had a pretty eventful day as well, Ryan Preece did, in that 47 for JTG Doherty Racing after replacing the AJ Allmendinger, who will go to the NBC broadcast station. I believe that also ended Jamie McMurray's day. Eric Jones got a little piece of that as well. And Landy Castle also was involved. So it was upsetting for the backmarker teams. But this finally set up for the last restart, I believe. Yeah. And it would be between Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin, along with Joey Logano, Michael McDowell, Ryan Preece, Ty Dillon, and Ross Chastain. I think those were the only guys on the lead lap. Maybe Jimmy Johnson too, and Ryan Newman, but they were trashed, and it all came down to them. And only out of all 40 cars, only 3 had no damage. Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, and your 10th place finisher and small team driver Ross Chastain in the 15 for Premium Motorsports. So that was really cool to see. It's just crazy how much wreckage there was. I mean, it complete carnage. Cars were trashed. But it all came down to it. And Kyle Busch, you don't expect this out of the whining crybaby, Eminem's Candyman driver himself. But he took one for the team, and he lets Denny Hamlin slide in on the bottom. Right behind him, they run nose to tail. And Joey Logano is trying to get runs from Ryan Preece. He's trying to hook up with Michael McDowell in the 34. Michael just kind of fell out of it. Didn't have any help on the high side. And Kyle Busch just blocks the heck out of Joey Logano. And Kyle Busch ends up second. Actually, JGR ends up 1, 2, 3 with Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, and young gun Eric Jones, who I think came across the line smoking. It was crazy. But where did he come from is what I've got to ask. But yes, that is why the car is sitting here. Denny Hamlin wins his second Daytona 500, which, in my perspective, in my opinion, okay. I was really rooting for Michael McDowell. I was really pulling for him and that small team. Or Ryan Preece would have been cool. Maybe Ross Chastain. But like I said, he finished P10. Jimmy Johnson had a pretty good day as well, finishing in the top 10. It was, and I say Jimmy Johnson in the surprisingly in the top 10 because it's just how much damage he had in his car and stuff like that. So, yeah. But it was a great race, guys. I mean, if you didn't see it, you missed a hell of a show. They brought it all on the line. I heard that Jim France, the kind of the runner right now of NASCAR, told everybody to put on a fan for us, I believe. Or at least I heard that somewhere, I don't remember. But if that is true, thank you, Jim France, for that. I really do appreciate that. What an awesome race. I may not have wanted Denny Hamlin to win, but I'll take it over Joey Logano, Jimmy Johnson, and Kyle Busch any day. I know a lot of the Chase Elliott fans are probably salty about it. But guys, that Martinsville thing is past. Chase Elliott got 3 wins last year. Denny Hamlin didn't get any. So just leave it alone, you know. But, you know, hard feelings are hard feelings. You can't do anything about it. People will be people. So, but yeah, on that note said, I am, congratulations to Denny Hamlin. Not who I really, really wanted to win the Daytona 500. Not my pick to win. But I am happy it wasn't someone that I despise and cannot stand. So, I will take that. But anyways, guys, this is the show. I will have a predictions video, my first predictions video for Atlanta coming up. We have lots to talk about in that video because with the new rules aero package and everything, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out with the new tapered spacer that limit the horsepower even more, and maybe the new pack racing with the spoiler, the splitter, the aero ducts. It will be very interesting. Kind of the all-star package that we saw last year, which was very entertaining. I hope to see that same kind of racing, but in a different way. But I will talk more on that Friday. So, on that note, guys, unless I have any more videos for the rest of this week, I thank you all so much for watching. Please like this video, leave a comment, subscribe for more. Tell me what you think so far of this show. I hope it gets to be a little bigger. And stay tuned, guys, because it's going to be a hell of a year. I really hope it's going to be better than last year. Last year was, for a Kyle Larson fan, not very good. But there's a plus to this. We actually survived the Daytona 500. That's a start, even though we came across the line with a hell of a lot of damage. And I would just like to say to all the Jamie McMurray fans, we had a strong car, had a strong run. I would just like to thank Spire Motorsports for that opportunity for him. It was great to see that team and him get a one last hurrah, if you will. But like I said, he got collected in one more wreck, just could not survive, and he would end up finishing P20 by the end of the race. So it was cool to see, though, Bass Pro Shop, McDonald's, Healthcare, or whatever that other sponsor was they ran in the Clash, and Cessna come back all full circle for Jamie McMurray. So on that note, guys, for real this time, I will see you guys in the next video. Tell me what you think of the show. And on that note, I'm out, guys. Have a great day. Have a great night. Peace out.